Today, we mourn the loss of a literary giant. Pierre Joris, the Luxembourgish-American poet, translator, and essayist, has passed away. His contributions to literature, spanning poetry, translation, and cultural studies, will be remembered for generations to come. Pierre Joris was born on July 14, 1946, in Luxembourg, and for over 5 decades, he lived between Europe, North Africa, and the United States. He was not just a poet, but also a scholar, translator, and bridge between cultures. With more than 80 books to his name, Joris left behind a rich legacy of words, ideas, and explorations of language and identity. His work constantly challenged literary norms, making him one of the most influential voices in contemporary literature. His poetry was deeply influenced by themes of exile, movement, and linguistic experimentation. Some of his most notable poetry collections include Interglacial Narrows, 2021, The Book of You, 2017, and Barzac, Poems 2000, 2012, 2014. His poetic style was often described as fluid, breaking barriers between languages and traditions. Beyond his poetry, Joris was best known for his translations of Paul Celan, a Holocaust survivor and one of the most complex poets of the 20th century. His book, Breath Turn into Timestead, the collected later poetry of Paul Celan, 2014, is widely considered one of the finest English translations of Celan's work. Through this masterpiece, Joris made Celan's poetry more accessible to the world, capturing the intensity and depth of the original German texts. His dedication to translation went beyond Celan, as he also worked on bringing voices from North Africa and the Middle East to Western audiences. One of his most significant contributions to cultural studies was Arabia, Not So, Deserta, 2019, a collection of essays exploring literature from the Maghreb and Mashrek regions. In this work, Joris delved into the poetry and literary traditions of North Africa, breaking Western misconceptions about Arab literature. His University of California Book of North African Literature, 2012, was another important anthology that showcased diverse voices from the region. These works highlighted Joris's belief in the power of literature to connect cultures and bridge historical divides. Joris was not just a poet and scholar, he was also a playwright. In 2016, his play, The Agony of I.B., was staged at the Théâtre National du Luxembourg, further showcasing his talent in storytelling beyond poetry. He also collaborated with musicians and artists, proving that poetry is not just meant to be read, but also experienced in sound and performance. As we say goodbye to Pierre Joris, we remember that poets never truly die. Their words remain, their ideas continue to inspire, and their influence echoes through generations. His legacy will live on through his poetry, translations, and essays that have reshaped the literary world. If you admire Pierre Joris and his contributions to literature, please like, share, and subscribe to Legacy Lives On. More together, we will continue to honor the legends who shaped our world.